Now, in the previous video, we figured out something. This second difference is always same, unchanged, which is 2 for this particular problem. So we have decided it's going to be equation, parabolic equation. One other thing we got to understand, it's not understanding basically, it's just a kind of memorizing. The general rule, we call it rule for any parabolic function, is a times x squared plus b times x plus c. So the first question the students are going to ask us, what is a, b, and c? We got to take a pause, and we have to understand these are the 3 things we require to find out, so that we can write a specific example of a parabolic function. So our objective is to find the values of a, b, and c. Now, the rule is pretty simple. To find a, look at the second difference. Look at the second difference and divide the second difference by 2. So 2 divided by 2 gives you 1. So we know something. This is 1, x squared, plus we do not know what b is, so it's bx plus c. We need to figure out what b and c is. Now, for that matter, we got to move into the second phase of our activity. First thing we are going to do, we are going to find out the values represented by each step for the first term, which is a times x squared. So it'll be a is 1, all is 1, and x keeps on changing. So 1 times 1 squared equals 1, 1 times 2 squared equals 4, 1 times 3 squared equals 9. Now, one of the things we did not achieve is we need to compare these numbers with our newly calculated value, which is 149. I didn't get 2, so it's 1 short of that number. I write it down, and for the second step I get 4, not 5, 4. So I'm 1 short of this number. I get 9, but I do not get 10. So 10 minus 9 is 1. So I get a secondary pattern, and it will continue for rest of the terms. If we try to figure out the linear function for this, remember, parabolic function is a combination of one parabolic term and another linear one. This is the linear one. So what is the gradient of this? 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. So the gradient of this line is 0. So now we are trying to write down y equals mx plus c. M is 0 times x, which is 0, and c has to be 1. So our newfound equation is, what is that? B term is 0. This is the B term, is 0, and C is 1. So I can write the equation as y equals x squared plus 1. I hope it makes some sense. In class, we'll discuss it further.